Hi, I'm Annie. Contact information is in the description. When I was 30 years old, 16 years ago, I had a terrible bout of insomnia. If you've ever experienced insomnia before, you will know that it can be maddening if it goes on for a few weeks. But I'm a fairly proactive person, so I was really trying to find some tools to deal with the insomnia, try to get to the bottom of why it was happening. And one of the things that I tried really stuck with me. It was this self-hypnosis program, and there was a woman's voice, and she was guiding me to imagine a safe space for myself, to sort of like build a safe space to go to out of my own imagination. And she wasn't telling me what it looked like or smelled like or anything. I was creating the details and she was just guiding me to do that. So I created a cave that only my dog and I know how to get to, secret entrance. And inside the cave, there was this wise woman that would greet us. She was completely accepting and forgiving, very healing. Just her presence and her energy was automatically healing to me. And she would also sometimes tell me things that I needed to know. There's a fireplace in there. My dog usually goes and lays down by the fireplace. And in the middle of the room, there's this big bathtub, and it's carved out of a stone that's called alabaster. It's orange alabaster. It's slightly translucent rock. Well, bathing is one of my most favorite things. It's very relaxing and renewing for me. So I would get into the bathtub, and just imagining myself in warm water would help me to relax. And then sometimes the wise lady would massage my neck and just sort of help me facilitate that relaxation. So these details just emerged out of my imagination, and over time, the cave and the scenery and the details of that imagination have become more and more detailed. At one point, the woman told me her name, and that was like 10 years after the thing was first created. So the woman told me that her name is Verushka, which means truth. And there are just like a lot of really rich details that kept emerging over time. And it's really interesting to me because a couple of days ago, I went to the cave like I always do as I'm trying to fall asleep. I make a practice of going to this cave every day. It's convenient for me to remember to do it just when I lay in bed, just to initiate the relaxation process and fall into sleep really quickly. The reason I do it every day is because I don't want to wait until my anxiety is really high and then try to go there. I want to practice going there every day so that I'm really good at getting there, getting to that relaxation response. So essentially, I'm able to trigger that relaxation on my own. It's sort of like a muscle that I've developed. And the way that I've developed it is by doing this every day. If the shit ever really hits the fan, I'm in a stressful situation, I can just get there really quick and calm down and relax. Well, a couple days ago, the bathtub, which has always been made out of orange alabaster, was suddenly made out of emerald. Just like this giant, huge, incredible chunk of sparkling emerald. So the outside of it was kind of jagged and faceted a little, so it was reflecting the light. But the inside of it, of course, was smooth. Smooth and very comfortable and ergonomic and perfectly designed for my body. Another change that spontaneously occurred and came to me was that the water now was infused with healing minerals and compounds. The water was always healing. It was always some sort of natural spring water, but there was this extra component of healing in the water. So it's just really interesting to me. These details change and seem to emerge spontaneously over time. Of course, they're coming from my own mind. I just really appreciate how real and vivid this place is for me, and what an amazing tool it is to be able to change my state and become relaxed on command whenever I need to. And I'm also just reflecting on how grateful I am that probably 16 years ago, I learned this technique of relaxing on command using the imagery of a safe space that I built in my mind. Another imagery that I use, and this one's like a real quickie, is that I remember a time when I was in Mexico and I was laying on the sand and it was warm. The sun was beating down on the sand. I just felt so good, and I was just taking a little nap in between diving exercises. I think I was getting a scuba diving certification, and just taking a little nap on the beach, and I was putting my hands into the sand and just kind of playing with it, and it was so warm and it felt so amazing. And so now sometimes if I need just like a really quick imagery, I just imagine my hands in that sand and how relaxed I felt in that moment, and then it's easy for me to let go and get to a more relaxed state. So all this might sound kind of cheesy, but it works. I think it's just such a great tool to really build a very vivid space in your imagination that you can get to quickly and find relaxation. It's such a powerful tool.